Well, I just experienced a disaster with the glue up. I had glued the two side stretchers yesterday, wanted them to dry overnight so that I could then assemble the two halves, and lo and behold I glued the front stretcher reversed, so this side was facing out. Obviously that won't work with all the joinery and everything cut, so what to do? Do I trash the half the assembly and then rebuild it, or is there a way to salvage it? So fortunately, with the Festool saw in the MFT, I was able to position the pieces and just trim right next to the edge of the leg. So I need to sand the part that was glued on flush on each leg. I was able to cut these in square, and then I'll have to recut the mortises and then re-glue it, but much better to have to do that than to have to rebuild half of an assembly, especially with all the joinery that was involved. And fortunately, I had cut slots to align the drawer runners on both sides, so I used dominoes to position the two work pieces together to keep the positioning the same, and that way I don't have to worry about the joinery on the inside of the table being messed up after I cut the legs. So now the whole table is just going to be a tad shorter, but at least I was able to salvage the pieces and all is not lost, hopefully. So got some work ahead of me now to get these sanded and get all the joinery recut, and then have to re-glue everything again, and that's what I'll work on next. Well, I got all the mortises recut. I used the RO90 to sand off the remnants of the stretchers that were still glued to the surface. And there was a slight rounding over, so I took a hand plane, my Lee Nielsen jack plane, and just planed off the surface to get it flat back again, so that when I glue the stretchers up it'll be perfectly flat. So I was able to line everything up and recut everything. So now I'm ready to glue it up for a second round.